feel kind of just having that type of performance, especially with the Sox?
The guys played really, really hard, and they prepared really well, and it just says a lot about this group in terms of responding from the performance we had the week before, and those guys coming out playing hard. That's really just who we are. Those guys play. They really focus on doing their 111th, and every guy wants to just do his job. And when we do that, we play really well. But the number one thing is, I just told those guys, no matter what happens, just leave it all on the field on Saturday night, and they did that.
Kenny singled out Mallerie, and he was Pac-12 defensive lineman of the week. So, sort of personified the performance. What stood out to you about his job?
Wow, I didn't know that. You telling me that that's great. He definitely deserved it. He's just been honestly he's been better than advertised, and we got him and we brought him in. We thought he was going to be a good player for us, but he's exceeded our expectations, and he just keeps on getting better. And I've said it once and I've said it 100 times. I mean, he's just a guy who comes to work, doesn't say a whole lot. He's a good teammate, but when he puts the pads on, he just becomes another person. And he's got a great future in the sport. I really do think he's going to play at the next level. And what he's done here for us up to this point has been amazing. And what he did on Saturday is just he made a huge impact on that game.
The one play where he kind of chased down the line of scrimmage on what was initially going to be a stunt, was that just intuitive on his part, where he had the deflection?
I can't really remember what the call was.
A twist of some kind.
Yeah, it was some type of game, and he came off the edge, and he just, it's something we coach, we emphasize, just always mirror the throwing hand if you can't get to the quarterback, and he's just a guy that literally you say it to him, he doesn't really stay a whole lot, and still waters run deep, but everything you say to him, he really absorbs it, and just love to see his progress throughout this season, and excited to see what he can do these last two games as a Sun Devil.
The play extension ability of Bo Nix, what challenges does that present?
I mean, it seems like every quarterback we see, finds a way to extend plays, and I just think that's the difference between just quarterbacks at the college level, and I've never coached at the NFL level, but I'm sure at that level as well. I just think those guys that can sit back and shred an offense are very few and far between, and the guys that are like that, that just can stand there in pocket and just make every throw. I think in this day and age with all the sim blitzes and the ways that teams can affect quarterbacks, I just think guys that can extend are the most difficult, for me as a coordinator to defend. Even the guys that maybe aren't elite passers, the guys that just can get out of trouble and deliver the ball at the right spot, and maybe they don't have the prettiest throwing motions or any of that, and really, Bo Nix just kind of personifies all those things. He's a playmaker. He understands the offense. You can tell he studies incredibly well. He knows the defense. He looks at the leverage of a DB, and he knows where to go with the football. He sees a DB that's off. He knows where he's going with the throws. A lot of the fact that he doesn't get sacked is really because he gets rid of the football. And their O-line's really, really good and really big and physical and do a great job, but just that quarterback complements the offensive line. The offensive line complements the quarterback, and that's why people can't get to him.
And then you overlay that with a very potent rushing attack. So,
he's a year better. We went up against these guys last year and a lot of the same personnel, and Bucky Irving's gotten way better, and then number 20 comes in to complement him, just kind of like a thunder and lightning. But Bucky Irving is also, he's really, really, really physical runner. We got our hands full.
We're going to write a story about Alfonso Taylor and Damon Williamson, and just you've been at safety at the times, and those guys have been very involved. What have they kind of brought to the program as walk-ons?
Yeah, those guys just come to work every day, and they just kind of personify the consistently good, not occasionally great guys. And we got a lot of young guys who are super talented. They're going to make a great play every now and then, but they don't understand the process. They don't understand the preparation that goes into each week, and that there's a lot of talented guys. You can guarantee if you line up against a guy across from you at this level, he's going to be super talented. The guys that make themselves different are the guys that are prepared and the guys that understand the process. And those two guys just totally understand that, and they're incredible teammates. They both have good ability, and they're both guys that I trust.
They came back here due to illnesses in their family, cancer in both cases, and you're from here also. And so just like What does that say about just like the community and the family kind of aspect of how that translates to football?
Yeah, it's just awesome. I think it means a little bit more to them, like it does to me. And the homegrown mentality. You want to see the hometown team do well, and being able to have an investment in that and be able to have a part of that it just means just a little bit more.
Coach, I was talking to Chris, and I know obviously watching film and you touched on what their offense can do, but what's the toughest part about getting somebody like Bo Nix in practice for the defense?
Well, I mean, the hardest thing is just number one, just take the player out of it. Just Bo Nix himself, just a quarterback that's able to operate within a system, and you can see that their offense. I mean, it is a system. Their reads, their RPOs, their formations, they all kind of they dress it up, and they're able to just do the same things, kind of like that's what the best coordinators in this league do, and really it's fundamentals that win games, and his fundamentals as a quarterback are incredible. He just understands what to do. So take away the arm talent, take away the ability to extend plays, take away the athlete, take away all those things. He's a guy that literally operates like a video game within the system. And if the corner's playing off, he takes the check down. If the corner's playing press, he knows where to go with the football. If you see single high or two high, he knows where to go with the football. And he's checking all the time, trying to get into the right calls and whatever the coordinators designed for a game plan. And he's just fantastic. He really is.
Coach, I apologize if you already answered this, but fourth down success last week against UCLA, we're going to team that likes to go for it on fourth down as well. How do you want to transfer that over to this week?
Yeah, you transfer this. Really, every week's a new week. And that's the thing is we got a flush last week. It's the same challenge really, except I think a better team than our challenge against Utah. We come off beating Washington State, we respond to winning the wrong way, and now we beat UCLA on the road. We respond from a little adversity. How do we respond? How do we react to winning? So that's going to be the real challenge this week.
I guess what went into those fourth down stops that allowed you to make those stands?
Guys just had great effort. I mean, we got our guys into one-on-ones in those situations, and to have to only get 1 yard, I mean, that's not a lot of yardage, so ultimately guys are going to have to make plays. So it was really just those guys and their effort and the urgency that they had at that moment that really carried the day.
With some explosive receivers like Tez Johnson and Troy Franklin out there in Oregon, and then also facing Washington in that receiving corps earlier this year, how are you trying to have success against those guys up at Washington, trying to have that success against obviously a different team in Oregon, but still two very explosive players?
It's really our plan really doesn't change from week to week. We're trying to keep the ball in front of us. We're trying to keep teams from explosive plays. We practice it every week. We get prepared for what teams have shown that they've done and what they possibly could do. So that really doesn't change. And in this league, there's great receivers every single week. It seems like every week we're seeing a former track star or a future NFL draft pick at receiver. So those guys are fantastic players, and that's something too. Just to tip my hat to their receivers coach. I mean, you can tell these guys are coached really, really well. I mean, they get in blind spots, they step on people's toes in coverage. This guy isn't just a recruiter or just somebody, and this guy's a coach. And I don't know who their receivers coach is. I really don't, but I mean, he does a fantastic job with these guys because these guys are super talented, but they're well coached.